47 Ronin is a 2013 American historical fantasy action film directed by Carl Rinsch in his sole theatrical directorial effort. Written by Chris Morgan and Hossein Amini from a story conceived by Morgan and Walter Hamada, the film is a work of Chushingura, the treasury of loyal retainers, a fictionalized account of the 47 Ronin, a real-life group of masterless samurai in 18th century Japan who avenged the death of their daimyō Asano Naganori by battling his rival Kira Yoshinaka. Starring Keanu Reeves in the lead role along with Hiroyuki Sanada Tadanobu Asano, Rinko Kikuch, and Ko Shibasaki, the film bears little resemblance to its historical basis compared to previous adaptations, and instead serves as a stylized interpretation set in a world of witches and giants. 4. Development on the film began in 2008 with Rinsch, who has previously filmed visual and stylish commercials for various companies, signing on to direct the following year. After 5 Japanese actors were cast alongside Reeves between March and April 2011, filming took place in Budapest the same month before moving to Shepperton Studios in England, while additional filming in Japan was planned. Reshoots took place in London in August 2012. 47 Ronin first premiered in Japan on December 6, 2013 before being released theatrically in the United States on December 25, 2013 by Universal Pictures in both 3D and 2D formats. Upon release, 47 Ronin was panned by critics 567 and grossed a total of $151.8 million against its production budget of $175 to $225 million, becoming a box office bomb that left Universal in the red for 2013. 8 Variety listed 47 Ronin as one of Hollywood's biggest box office bombs of 2013. 9. A standalone sequel, Blade of the 47 Ronin, was released on October 25, 2022, on Netflix. Plot. In late medieval Japan, Kai is a half-Japanese and half-English outcast who was lost in the woods near Wakana, and was adopted by Lord Asano, the benevolent ruler of the Ako domain. Kai and Asano's daughter, Mika, fall in love despite the scorn her father's samurai hold for Kai's mixed ancestry. Lord Kira, the shogun's master of ceremonies, seeks to take Ako for himself with the help of Mizuki, a shape-shifting kitsune. She sends a Kirin to kill Asano and his men on a hunting trip, leaving Kai to ride to their aid. Taking up a fallen sword, Kai slays the monster and spots Mizuki as a white fox with different colored eyes. When the shogun Tokugawa Tsunayoshi visits Ako, Kai notices Mizuki disguised as a concubine with the same multicolored eyes. He tries to warn Asano's principal counselor, Oishi, about the witch in Kira's household but is dismissed. For the entertainment of the shogun, Kira arranges a duel between his best warrior, a golem, and Asano's chosen combatant, whom Mizuki incapacitates with magic. Kai secretly dons his armor to fight in his stead but is unmasked during the duel, and the shogun orders him to be severely beaten. That night, Mizuki bewitches Asano into believing Kira is raping Mika, causing him to attack the unarmed lord. Sentenced to death, Asano is compelled to perform seppuku to preserve his honor. The shogun gives Kira domain over Ako and Mika, granting her 1 year of mourning before she must marry Kira. The shogun brands Oishi and his men Ronin, forbidding them from avenging Asano, and Kira has Oishi imprisoned, and Kai sold into slavery. Nearly a year later, Oishi is released by his captors, believing him harmless. Having realized that Kira used sorcery to frame Asano, Oishi and his son Chikara reunite the scattered Ronin and rescue Kai from the fighting pits of the Dutch colony of Dejima. Kai leads them to the mystical Tengu forest, which he escaped as a child, to obtain the special blades of the Tengu. Warning Oishi never to draw his sword inside the Tengu temple, Kai faces the Tengu master who once trained him. Faced with an illusion of his men and son being slaughtered by the Tengu, Oishi resists the urge to draw his sword, while Kai bests his former master. Having proven themselves worthy, the Ronin receive their blades. They plan to ambush Kira on his pilgrimage to a shrine to seek blessings for his wedding to Mika, but the procession is a trap, and most of the Ronin are killed. Believing they are all dead, Mizuki presents Kira with Oishi's sword and taunts Mika with their deaths. Having survived the attack, Oishi and Kai lead half the remaining Ronin to infiltrate Kira's castle, disguised as a band of wedding performers. With Kira's men distracted during the performance, the other Ronin scale the castle walls and attack the guards. While Oishi fights Kira, Kai and Mika face Mizuki as a dragon, and Kai finally draws on the mystical powers of the Tengu to kill her. When Oishi emerges with Kira's severed head, Kira's retainers surrender. The Ronin and Kai surrender themselves to the authorities of the Bakufu and are sentenced to death, having violated the shogun's prohibition on avenging Asano. However, the shogun declares that they followed the principles of Bushido and restores their honor as samurai, allowing them to perform seppuku and receive the honor of burial with Asano. The shogun returns the domain of Ako to Mika and pardons Shikara so that he may preserve Oishi's bloodline and serve Ako. As Mika mourns Kai's death, she remembers that he will search for her through 1,000 worlds and 10,000 lifetimes until he finds her. Cast: Keanu Reeves as Kai, a half-Japanese, half-English outcast adopted by the household of Lord Asano who joins the Ronin. 10. The character was created for the film. 11. Daniel Barber as Teen Kai. Hiroyuki Sanada as Yoshio Oishi, the leader of the Ronin. 8. Tadanobu Asano as Lord Yoshinaka Kira, Lord Asano's rival daimyō. 8. Rinko Kikuchi as Mizuki the Witch, an odd-eyed sorceress who serves Lord Kira. 8. Ko Shibasaki as Mika Asano, Lord Asano's daughter and Kai's love interest. 8. Arisa Mikawa as Teen Mika. Min Tanaka as Lord Naganori Asano, the former master of the Ronin, and Mika's father. Kiri Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shogun Tsunayoshi Tokugawa. Jin Akinishi as Shikara Oishi, Oishi's son. 12. Masayoshi Handa as Yasuno. Hiroshi Sogabe as Hazama. Takato Yonmoto as Basho. Hiroshi Yamada as Hara. Yorick Van Wagen and Gen as Kapitan. Masayuki Dia as Isagai. Shu Nakajima as Horib. Togo Igawa as Tengu Lord. Natsuki Kunimoto as Riku. Gete Watanabe as Kabuki Troop Leader. Rick Janest as Foreman. Ron Bodada as Narrator. Production. Development. 47 Ronin was first announced in December 2008, with Keanu Reeves attached to star. According to Variety, the film would tell a stylized version of the story, mixing fantasy elements of the sword scene in the Lord of the Rings pics, with gritty battle scenes akin to those in films such as Gladiator. Universal Pictures planned to produce the film in 2009 after hiring a director 13 and entered talks with Carl Rinsch, who has previously filmed visual and stylish commercials for various companies, to direct the film in November of that year. 14. In December 2010, the studio announced that the film would be produced and released in 3D. 15. Between March 16 and April 17, 2011, 5 Japanese actors, Hiroyuki Sanada, Tadanobu Asano, Rinko Kikuchi, Ko Shibasaki, and Jin Akinishi, were cast alongside Reeves, as Universal wanted the film to be more authentic instead of casting actors more recognizable in the United States. 16. Universal provided Rinsch with a production budget of $175 million for the film despite his inexperience with feature-length films, which was considered by The Hollywood Reporter to be a large-scale, downright risky move on behalf of the studio. 18. Filming. Principal photography for the film began on March 14, 2011 in Budapest. 18. Origo Film Group contributed to the film. Production moved to Shepperton Studios in the United Kingdom while additional filming in Japan was planned. 11. Reeves revealed that various scenes were first filmed in the Japanese language to familiarize the cast, and were then filmed again in English. 4. The film featured a total of 998 costumes and 400 suits of armor designed by British costume designer Penny Rose, who stated that we decided to base it on the culture and what the shapes should be, i.e., everyone's in a kimono but we've thrown a kind of fashion twist at it. And we've made it full of color, which is quite unusual for me. 1920. Reshoots were done in London in late August 2012, which were delayed by the 2012 Summer Olympics and the filming of Reeves' directorial debut, Man of Tai Chi. Universal pulled Rinsch from the project during the editing stages in late 2012, with Universal chairwoman Donna Langley taking over the editing process. 21. In addition, the studio added a love scene, extra close-ups, and individual lines of dialogue to try and boost Reeves' presence in the film, which significantly added to the film's budget. 21. Music. 47. Ronin, original motion picture soundtrack, is a soundtrack album containing the film score composed by Ilan Eshkari, which was released on December 17, 2013 by Varese Saraband. Soundtrack list. Oishi's Tale, Kirin Hunt, Resentment, The Witch's Plan, AKO, Shogun, Tournament, Bewitched, Asano Seppuku, Dutch Island Fugue, Reunited Ronin, Tengu, Shrine Ambush, The Witch's Lie, Kira's Wedding Quartet, Palace Battle, The Witch Dragon, Return to AKO, Shogun's Sentence, Mika and Kai, Seppuku, 47. Ronin. Release. 47. Ronin was originally scheduled to be released on November 21, 2012-22 but was delayed to February 8, 2013 due to the need for work on the 3D effects. 23. It was moved once more to a final release date of December 25, 2013, due to the need for work on the reshoots and post-production. 24. An endorsement from the cast of Sengoku Basara was held until January 23, 2014, stating that Japanese fans who tweet with the hashtag #Ronin_Basara could win Sengoku Basara 4 for the PS3 or a 47 Ronin poster signed by the film's cast. 25. Home Media. Universal Pictures Home Entertainment released 47 Ronin on DVD, Blu-ray and Blu-ray 3D on April 1, 2014. 26. Reception. Box office. 47 Ronin originally premiered in Japan on December 6, 2013, where it opened to 753 screens and grossed an estimated $1.3 million, opening in third place behind Lupin III vs. Detective Conan, the movie, and Kaguya Hime no Monogatari, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Variety reported that the Japanese debut was troubling, considering the well-known local cast and the fact that the film is loosely based on a famous Japanese tale. 27. The evening tabloid newspaper Nikkei Jondai reported that its dismal performance were unheard-of numbers generated by the Japanese distaste for a Hollywood rendition of Chushingura which bore little resemblance to the renowned historical epic. 28. In the United States, the film grossed $20.6 million in 5 days after its release on Christmas Day 2013, opening in 9th place and facing heavy competition from Frozen, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, The Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle, Saving Mr. Banks, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and The Hunger Games, Catching Fire. In the United Kingdom, the film grossed $2.3 million upon debuting in 5th place. 29. The film was a box office bomb, unable to recover its $175 million production budget. 30-31. Critical response. 47 Ronin was panned by film critics, failing to impress Japanese audiences where studio expectations were high. 5 on Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a 16% approval rating based on 88 reviews, with an average score of 4.20/10. The critical consensus reads, 47 Ronin is a surprisingly dull fantasy adventure, one that leaves its talented international cast stranded within one-dimensional roles. 6. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 28 out of 100 based on 21 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. 7 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale. 32-33. Kirsten Acuna of Business Insider stated that the film flopped for 3 reasons. First, it opened in December when there is an oversaturation of films for the Christmas season. Second, the film took too long in the vault after having undergone editing and lost momentum as a result. And third, audiences had not been drawn to Reeves as an actor since The Matrix Revolutions, which was released 10 years prior, and that he had not yet re-established his stardom prior to making John Wick. Keanu Charles Reeves Keanu 07, born September 2, 1964, is a Canadian actor and musician. The recipient of numerous accolades in a career on screen spanning 4 decades, he is known for his leading roles in action films, his amiable public image, and his philanthropic efforts. In 2020, the New York Times ranked him as the 4th greatest actor of the 21st century, and in 2022 Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Born in Beirut and raised in Toronto, Reeves made his acting debut in the Canadian television series Hanjin in 1984, before making his feature film debut in Young Blood, 1986. He had his breakthrough role in the science fiction comedies Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, 1991. He gained praise for playing a hustler in the independent drama My Own Private Idaho, 1991, and established himself as an action hero with leading roles in Point Break, 1991, and Speed, 1994. Following several box office disappointments, Reeves's performance in the horror film The Devil's Advocate, 1997, was well received. Greater stardom came with his role as Neo in The Matrix, 1999. Reeves became the highest paid actor for a single production for reprising the role in its 2003 sequels Reloaded and Revolutions. He also played John Constantine in Constantine, 2005. Reeves made his film directorial debut with Man of Tai Chi, 2013. Following a period in which he enjoyed limited commercial success, he made a career comeback by playing the titular assassin in the action film series John Wick, 2014, present. Reeves voiced Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4, 2019, and portrayed Johnny Silverhand in the video game Cyberpunk 2077, 2020, as well as its expansion. He has since reprised his roles of Ted in Bill and Ted Face the Music, 2020, and Neo in The Matrix, Resurrections, 2021, and voiced Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 2024. In addition to acting, Reeves is a member of the musical band Dogstar, releasing albums including Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, 2023. He is the co-writer and creator of the BRZRKR franchise, which started with the original comic book, 2021 to 2023, and since expanded to include numerous spin-offs, including the Book of Elsewhere, 2024. An avid motorcyclist, Reeves is the co-founder of the custom manufacturer Arch Motorcycle. He also co-founded the production company Company Films. Early life. Keanu Charles Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon, on September 2, 1964, the son of Patricia, née Taylor, a costume designer and performer, and Samuel Nowlin Reeves Jr. His mother is English, originating from Essex. His American father is from Hawaii, and is of native Hawaiian, Chinese, English, and Portuguese descent. 11-5-12 Reeves's paternal grandmother is of Hawaiian and Chinese descent. 13 His mother was working in Beirut when she met his father. 14 Who abandoned his wife and family when Reeves was 3 years old. Reeves last met his father on the Hawaiian island of Kauai when he was 13. 15. After his parents divorced in 1966, his mother moved the family to Sydney, Australia 15-16 and then to New York City, where she married Paul Aaron, a Broadway and Hollywood director, in 1970. 15 The couple moved to Toronto and divorced in 1971. When Reeves was 9, he took part in a theater production of Damn Yankees. 17 Aaron remained close to Reeves, offering him advice and recommending him a job at the Hedgerow Theatre in Pennsylvania. 15 Reeves's mother married Robert Miller, a rock music promoter. In 1976, the couple divorced in 1980. Reeves and his sisters grew up primarily in the Yorkville neighborhood of Toronto, with a nanny frequently caring for them. 15-18 Reeves watched British comedy shows such as The Two Ronnies, and his mother imparted English manners that he has maintained into adulthood. 19 Because of his grandmother's Chinese ethnicity, Reeves grew up with Chinese art, furniture, and cuisine. 20. Describing himself as a private kid, 21 Reeves attended 4 different high schools, including the Etobicoke School of the Arts, from which he was expelled. Reeves said he was expelled because he was just a little too rambunctious and shot my mouth off once too often. I was not generally the most well-oiled machine in the school. 22 Reeves has dyslexia and has said, because I had trouble reading, I wasn't a good student. 23 At De La Salle College, he was a successful ice hockey goalkeeper. Reeves had aspirations to play for the Canadian Olympic team and was once considered an old prospect, but his hockey career ended due to injury. 24 At the age of 15, he decided he wanted to become an actor. 25 After leaving De La Salle College, he attended Avondale Secondary Alternative School, which allowed him to get an education while working as an actor. Reeves dropped out of high school when he was 17. 26 He obtained a green card through his American stepfather and moved to Los Angeles 3 years later. 15 Reeves holds only Canadian citizenship. 8-9 Career. Main article, Keanu Reeves filmography. 1984 to 1990, early work. Reeves in 1986. In 1984, Reeves was a correspondent for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, youth television program Going Great. 27 That same year, he made his acting debut in an episode of the television series, called Hanjin In. 28 In 1985, he played Mercutio in a stage production of Romeo and Juliet at the Leopoldlands Theatre in North York, Ontario. 29-30 He made further appearances on stage, including Brad Fraser's cult hit Wolfboy in Toronto. He also appeared in a Coca-Cola commercial in 1983-31 and in the National Film Board of Canada, NFB, Coming of Age, short film One Step Away. 32 Reeves later said that, when he was looking for work in the mid-1980s, his agents advised him to go by a different name because his first name was too ethnic. He briefly initialized his first and middle name and attended auditions as Casey or Casey Reeves before reverting to Keanu. 33. In 1986, Reeves made a foray into television films, including NBC's Babes in Toyland, Act of Vengeance and Brotherhood of Justice. He made his first motion picture appearances in Peter Markle's Young Blood, in which he played a goalkeeper, and in the low-budget romantic drama, Flying. He was cast as Matt in River's Edge, a crime drama about a group of high school friends dealing with a murder case, loosely based on the 1981 murder of Marcy Renee Conrad. The film premiered in 1986 at the Toronto International Film Festival to a largely positive response. Janet Maslin of the New York Times describes the performances of the young cast as natural and credible, with Reeves being described as affecting and sympathetic. 34. In 1988, Reeves starred in several dramas aimed at teen audiences, including as the lead in The Night Before, a comedy starring opposite Lori Loughlin, The Prince of Pennsylvania and Permanent Record. Although the latter received mixed reviews, Variety magazine praised Reeves's performance, which opens up nicely as the drama progresses. 35 His other acting efforts included a supporting role in Dangerous Liaisons, which earned 7 nominations at the 61st Academy Awards, winning 3, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Production Design. 36. In 1989, Reeves starred in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, in which he portrays a slacker who travels through time with a friend, portrayed by Alex Winter, to assemble historical figures for a school presentation. The film was generally well received by critics and grossed $40.5 million at the worldwide box office. 37 film review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes gave the film a 79% approval rating, with the critical consensus: Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are just charming, goofy, and silly enough to make this fluffy time travel adventure work. 38 Reeves then starred in the comedy drama Parenthood, directed by Ron Howard. Nick Hilditch of the BBC gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, calling it a feel-good movie with an extensive and entertaining ensemble cast. 39 In 1990, Reeves gave 2 acting performances. He portrayed an incompetent hitman in the black comedy I Love You to Death, and played Martin, a radio station employee in the comedy Tune In Tomorrow. He also appeared in Paula Abdul's music video for Rush Rush, which featured a rebel without a cause, 1955, motif, with him in the James Dean role. 40. 1991 to 1994, breakthrough with mature roles. In 1991, Reeves starred in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, a sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, with his co-star Winter. Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times wrote that the sequel was more imaginative, more opulent, wilder, and freer, more excitingly visualized, praising the actors for their fuller performances. 41 Film critic Roger Ebert thought it was a riot of visual invention and weird humor that works on its chosen submoronic level. It's the kind of movie where you start out snickering in spite of yourself, and end up actually admiring the originality that went into creating this hallucinatory slapstick. 42 The rest of 1991 marked a significant transition for Reeves's career as he undertook adult roles. Co-starring with River Phoenix as a street hustler in the adventure My Own Private Idaho, the characters embark on a journey of personal discovery. The story was written by Gus Van Sant, and is loosely based on William Shakespeare's Henry IV, Part 1, Henry IV, Part 2, and Henry V. The film premiered at the 48th Venice International Film Festival 43, followed by a theatrical release in the United States on September 29, 1991. The film earned $6.4 million at the box office. 44 My Own Private Idaho was positively received, with Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly describing the film as a postmodern road movie with a mood of free-floating, trance-like despair, a rich, audacious experience. 45 The New York Times complimented Reeves and Phoenix for their insightful performances. 46. Reeves starred alongside Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, and Gary Busey in the action thriller Point Break, directed by Catherine Bigelow. He plays an undercover FBI agent tasked with investigating the identities of a group of bank robbers. To prepare for the film, Reeves and his co-stars took surfing lessons with professional surfer Dennis Jarvis in Hawaii. Reeves had never surfed before. 47 Upon its release, Point Break was generally well received, and a commercial success, earning $83.5 million at the box office. 48 Reeves's performance was praised by the New York Times for considerable discipline and range, adding, "He moves easily between the buttoned-down demeanor that suits a police procedural story and the loose-jointed manner of his comic roles." 49 Writing for the Washington Post, Hal Hinson called Reeves the perfect choice and praised the surfing scenes, but opined that the filmmakers have their characters make the most ludicrously illogical choices imaginable. 50 At the 1992 MTV Movie Awards, Reeves won the Most Desirable Male Award. 51. In 1991, Reeves developed an interest in a music career. He formed the alternative rock band Dogstar, consisting of members Robert Mailhouse, Greg Miller, and Brett Domrose. Reeves played the bass guitar. A year later, he played Jonathan Harker in Francis Ford Coppola's gothic horror Bram Stoker's Dracula, based on Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. Starring alongside Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Anthony Hopkins, the film was critically and commercially successful. It grossed $215.8 million worldwide. 52 For his role, Reeves was required to speak with an English accent, which drew some ridicule, overly posh and entirely ridiculous, Reeves's performance is as painful as it is hilarious, wrote Limara Salt of Virgin Media. 53 In a retrospective interview in 2015, director Coppola said, "Reeves tried so hard, he wanted to do it perfectly, and in trying to do it perfectly it came off as stilted." 54 Bram Stoker's Dracula was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, winning 3 in Best Costume Design, Best Sound Editing and Best Makeup. 55 The film also received 4 nominations at the British Academy Film Awards. 56. In 1993, he had a role in Much Ado About Nothing, based on Shakespeare's play of the same name. The film received positive reviews. 57 Although Reeves was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Supporting Actor. 58 The New Republic magazine thought his casting was unfortunate because of his amateur performance. 59 In that same year, he starred in 2 more drama films, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues and Little Buddha, both of which garnered a mixed to negative reception. 60-61 The Independent critic gave Little Buddha a mixed review but opined that Reeves's part as a prince was credible. 62 The film also left an impression on Reeves. He later said, "When I played this innocent prince who starts to suspect something when he has the first revelations about old age, sickness, and death, it hit me. That lesson has never left me." 63. In 1994, he starred in the action thriller Speed alongside Sandra Bullock and Dennis Hopper. He plays police officer Jack Traven, who must prevent a bus from exploding by keeping its speed above 50 miles per hour. Speed was the directorial debut of Dutch director Jan de Bont. Several actors were considered for the lead role, but Reeves was chosen because de Bont was impressed with his point-break performance. 64 To look the part, Reeves shaved all his hair off and spent 2 months in the gym to gain muscle mass. During production, Reeves's friend, and his My Own Private Idaho co-star River Phoenix died, resulting in adjustments to the filming schedule to allow him to mourn. 64 Speed was released on June 10 to a critically acclaimed response. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune lauded Reeves, calling him absolutely charismatic, giving a performance juiced with joy as he jumps through elevator shafts, and atop a subway train. 65 David Anson, writing for Newsweek, summarized Speed as, "relentless without being overbearing, this is one likely blockbuster that doesn't feel too big for its britches. It's a friendly juggernaut." 66 The film grossed $350 million from a $30 million budget and won 2 Academy Awards in 1995, Best Sound Editing and Best Sound. 67-68. 1995 to 1998, Career Fluctuations. I do love it Shakespeare. It's like this kind of code that once you start to inhabit it with breath and sound and feeling and thought, it is the most powerful and consuming and freeing at the same time. Just, literally, elemental in sound, consonants and vowels. What I found out in doing it Hamlet was that it brought up for me all the anger that was inside me for my mother. I mean, it surprised me, just what was there, and I hadn't seen that before. Reeves on his Hamlet performance. 69. Reeves's next leading role came in the 1995 cyberpunk action thriller Johnny Mnemonic, directed by artist Robert Longo and based on the 1981 short story by William Gibson. Set in 2021, it is about a man who has a cybernetic brain implant and must deliver a data package before he dies or is killed by the Yakuza. The film received mainly negative reviews and critics felt Reeves was woefully miscast. 70 Roger Ebert opined that the film is one of the great goofy gestures of recent cinema, a movie that doesn't deserve 1 nanosecond of serious analysis but has a kind of idiotic grandeur that makes you almost forgive it. 71. He next appeared in the romantic drama A Walk in the Clouds, which also garnered mixed to negative reviews. 72 Reeves plays a young soldier returning home from World War II, trying to settle down with a woman he married impulsively just before he enlisted. Film critic Nicholas Al opined that A Walk in the Clouds is for the most part a beautiful, well-acted, and emotionally rich picture, whereas Hal Hinson from the Washington Post said, "The film has the syrupy, Kodak magic moment look of a Bo-Derek movie, and pretty much the same level of substance. 73-74. Besides film work, Reeves retreated briefly to the theater playing Prince Hamlet in a 1995 Manitoba Theatre Centre production of Hamlet in Winnipeg, Manitoba. 75. The Sunday Times critic Roger Lewis believed his performance, writing he quite embodied the innocence, the splendid fury, the animal grace of the leaps and bounds, the emotional violence, that form the Prince of Denmark. He is one of the top 3 Hamlets I have seen, for a simple reason, he is Hamlet. 76. In 1996, Reeves was soon drawn to science fiction roles, appearing in Chain Reaction with co-stars Morgan Freeman, Rachel Weisz, Fred Ward, Kevin Dunn, and Brian Cox. He plays a researcher of a green energy project, who has to go on the run when he is framed for murder. The film gained a mostly negative reaction. Review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes gave it a rating of 16% and described it as a men-on-the-run thriller that mostly sticks to generic formula. 77. Reeves's film choices after Chain Reaction were also critical disappointments. He starred in the independent crime comedy Feeling Minnesota, with Vincent D'Onofrio and Cameron Diaz, which was described as shoddily assembled, and fundamentally miscast by Rotten Tomatoes. 78. Reeves turned down an offer to star in the 1997 film Speed 2, Cruise Control, despite being offered a salary of $12 million. 79. According to Reeves, this decision caused 20th Century Fox to sever ties with him for a decade. 80. Instead, Reeves toured with his band Dogstar, and appeared in the drama The Last Time I Committed Suicide, based on a 1950 letter written by Neil Cassidy to Jack Kerouac. Reeves's performance gained mixed reviews. Paul Tatera of CNN called him void of talent. Here he is again, reciting his lines as if they're non-related words strung together as a memory exercise. 81. Whereas Empire magazine thought Reeves gives the nearest thing to a performance in his career as the enthusiastic feckless drunk. 82. He starred in the 1997 supernatural horror The Devil's Advocate alongside Al Pacino and Charlize Theron. Reeves agreed to a pay cut of several $1 million so that the film studio could afford to hire Pacino. 83. Based on Andrew Niederman's novel of the same name, the feature is about a successful young lawyer invited to New York City to work for a major firm, who discovers the owner of the firm is a devil. The Devil's Advocate attracted positive reviews from critics. 84. Film critic James Berardinelli called the film highly enjoyable and wrote, "There are times when Reeves lacks the subtlety that would have made this a more multi-layered portrayal, but it's nevertheless a solid job." 85. 1999 to 2004, resurgence with the Matrix franchise and comedies. Reeves promoting The Day the Earth Stood Still in Mexico, 2008. Reeves promoting The Day the Earth Stood Still in Mexico, 2008. In 1999, Reeves starred in the critically acclaimed science fiction film The Matrix, the first installment in what would become the Matrix franchise. 86. Reeves portrays computer programmer Thomas Anderson, a hacker using the alias Neo, who discovers humanity is trapped inside a simulated reality created by intelligent machines. To prepare for the film, which was written and directed by the Wachowskis, Reeves had read Kevin Kelly's Out of Control, The New Biology of Machines, Social Systems, and the Economic World, and Dylan Evans's Ideas on Evolutionary Psychology. The principal cast underwent months of intense training with martial arts choreographer Yun Wu-ping to prepare for the fight scenes. 87. The Matrix proved to be a box office success. Several critics considered it to be one of the best science fiction films of all time. 88-89. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times felt it was a wildly cinematic futuristic thriller that is determined to overpower the imagination, despite perceiving weaknesses in the film's dialogue. 90. Janet Maslin of the New York Times credited Reeves for being a strikingly chic Prada model of an action hero, and thought the martial arts stunts were the film's strongest feature. 91. The Matrix received Academy Awards for Best Film Editing, Best Sound Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Sound. 92. After the success of The Matrix, Reeves avoided another blockbuster in favor of the 2000 sports comedy The Replacements. He agreed to a pay cut to enable Gene Hackman to co-star in the film. 83 Against his wishes, Reeves starred in the thriller The Watcher, playing a serial killer who stalks a retired FBI agent. He said that a friend forged his signature on a contract, which he could not prove. He appeared in the film to avoid legal action. 93 Upon its release, the film was critically panned. 94 That year, he had a supporting role in another thriller, Sam Raimi's The Gift, a story about a woman, played by Cate Blanchett, with extrasensory perception asked to help find a young woman who disappeared. The film grossed $44 million worldwide. 95 Film critic Paul Clinton of CNN thought the film was fairly compelling, saying of Reeves's acting, "Raimi managed to get a performance out of Reeves that only occasionally sounds like he's reading his lines from the back of a cereal box." 96. In 2001, Reeves continued to explore and accept roles in a diverse range of genres. The first was a romantic drama, Sweet November, a remake of the 1968 film. This was his second collaboration with Charlize Theron. The film was met with a generally negative reception. 97 Desson Thompson of The Washington Post criticized it for its syrupy cliches, greeting card wisdom, and over-the-top tragicomedy, but commended Reeves for his likability factor in every performance he gives. 98 Later that year, Hardball marked Reeves's attempt in another sports comedy. Directed by Brian Robbins, it is based on the book Hardball, a season in the projects by Daniel Coyle. Reeves plays Connor O'Neill, a troubled young man who agrees to coach a little league team from the Cabrini Green housing project in Chicago as a condition of obtaining a loan. Film critic Roger Ebert noted the film's desire to tackle difficult subjects and baseball coaching, but felt it lacked depth, and Reeves's performance was glum and distant. 99. By 2002, his professional music career had come to an end when Dogstar disbanded. The band had released 2 albums during their decade together, Our Little Visionary in 1996 and Happy Ending in 2000. 100 Sometime afterwards, Reeves performed in the band Becky for a year, founded by Dogstar bandmate Mailhouse, but quit in 2005, citing a lack of interest in a serious music career. 101-102 After being absent from the screen in 2002, Reeves returned to the Matrix sequels in 2003 with The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, released in May and November, respectively. Principal photography for both films was completed back-to-back, primarily at Fox Studios in Australia. 103 The Matrix Reloaded garnered mostly favorable reviews. John Powers of LA Weekly praised the dazzling pyrotechnics but was critical of certain machine-like action scenes. Of Reeves's acting, Powers thought it was somewhat wooden but felt he has the ability to exude a charmed aura. 104 Andrew Walker, writing for the Evening Standard, praised the cinematography. Visually it gives full value as a virtuoso workout for your senses, but he was less taken by the film's dime store philosophy. 105 The film grossed $739 million worldwide. 106 The Matrix Revolutions, the third installment, was met with mixed reception. According to review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, the consensus was that characters and ideas take a backseat to the special effects. 107 Paul Clinton, writing for CNN, praised the special effects but felt Reeves's character was unfocused. 108 In contrast, the San Francisco Chronicle's Carla Meyer was highly critical of the special effects, writing, "The Wachowskis' computer-generated imagery goes from dazzling to deadening in action scenes that favor heavy, clanking weaponry over the martial arts moves that thrilled viewers of The Matrix and The Matrix Reloaded." 109 Nevertheless, the film grossed $427 million worldwide, although less than the 2 previous films. 110 Something's Gotta Give, a romantic comedy, was Reeves's last release of 2003. He co-starred with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton, and played Dr. Julian Mercer in the film. Something's Gotta Give received generally favorable reviews. 111. 2005 to 2013, thrillers, documentaries, and directorial debut. Reeves, dressed in a gray suit, waving to the crowd at the Berlin Film Festival, February 2009. Reeves at the Berlin International Film Festival in 2009. In 2005, Reeves played John Constantine in Constantine, an occult detective film, about a man who has the ability to perceive and communicate with half angels and half demons. The film was a respectable box office hit, grossing $230 million worldwide from a $100 million budget, but attracted mixed to positive reviews. 112. The Sydney Morning Herald's critic wrote that Constantine isn't bad, but it doesn't deserve any imposing adjectives. It's occasionally cheesy, sometimes enjoyable, intermittently scary, and constantly spiked with celestial blatherskite. 113. He next appeared in Thumbsucker, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2005. 114. A comedy adapted from the 1999 novel by Walter Kern, the story follows a boy with a thumb-sucking problem. Reeves and the cast garnered positive critical reviews, with the Washington Post describing it as a gently stirring symphony about emotional transition filled with lovely musical passages and softly nuanced performances. 115. In 2006, Reeves appeared in the Richard Linklater-directed animated science fiction thriller A Scanner Darkly, which premiered at the 2006 Cannes Film Festival. 116. Reeves played Bob Arctor/Fred, an undercover agent in a futuristic dystopia under high-tech police surveillance. Based on the 1977 novel by Philip K. Dick, the film was a box office failure. 117. However, the film attracted generally favorable reviews. Paul Arendt of the BBC thought the film was beautiful to watch, but that Reeves was outshone by his co-star Robert Downey Jr. 118. 119. His next role was Alex Weiler in The Lake House, a romantic drama adaptation of the 2000 South Korean film Il Mare, which reunited him with Sandra Bullock. Despite its box office success, 120. Mark Kimon of The Guardian was highly critical, writing this syrup-drenched supernatural whimsy achieves stupidity at a genuinely international level. The last time Bullock and Reeves were together on screen, the result was Speed. This should have been entitled Stop. 121. Towards the end of 2006, he co-narrated The Great Warming with Alanis Morissette, a documentary about climate change mitigation. 122. In 2008, Reeves collaborated with director David Ayer on the crime thriller Street Kings. He played an undercover policeman who must clear his name after the death of another officer. Released on April 11, the film grossed a moderate $66 million worldwide. 123. The film's plot and Reeves' performance, however, were met with mostly unenthusiastic reviews. Paul Burns of the Sydney Morning Herald stated, "It's full of twists and turns, a dead body in every reel, but it's not difficult to work out who's betraying whom, and that's just not good enough." 124. The Guardian opined that Reeves is fundamentally blank and uninteresting. 125. Reeves starred in another science fiction film, The Day the Earth Stood Still, a loose adaptation of the 1951 film. He portrayed Claytu, an alien sent from outer space to try to change human behavior or eradicate humans because of their environmental impact. At the 2009 Razzie Awards, the film was nominated for Worst Prequel, Remake, Rip-Off or Sequel. 126. Many critics were unimpressed with the heavy use of special effects. The Telegraph credited Reeves's ability to engage the audience, but thought the cinematography was abysmal and the sub-Al Gore environment lecture leaves you lightheaded with tedium. 127. 128. Reeves and Tiger Chen, 2013. Tiger Chen and Reeves at the 2013 Fantastic Fest. Rebecca Miller's The Private Lives of Pipoli was Reeves's sole release of 2009, which premiered at the 59th Berlin International Film Festival. 129 The romantic comedy and its ensemble received an amicable review from The Telegraph's David Gritton. Miller's film is a triumph. Uniformly well acted, it boasts a psychologically knowing script, clearly written by a smart, assertive human. 130 In 2010, he starred in another romantic comedy, Henry's Crime, about a man who is released from prison for a crime he did not commit, but then targets the same bank with his former cellmate. The film was not a box office hit. 131 Reeves's only work in 2011 was an adult picture book titled Ode to Happiness, which he wrote, complemented by Alexandra Grant's illustrations. 132-133 Reeves co-produced and appeared in a 2012 documentary, Side by Side. He interviewed filmmakers including James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, and Christopher Nolan. The feature investigated digital and photochemical film creation. 134 Reeves then starred in Generation an independent drama which was critically panned. 135. In 2013, Reeves starred in his own directorial debut, the martial arts film Man of Tai Chi. The film has multilingual dialogue and follows a young man drawn to an underground fight club, partially inspired by the life of Reeves' friend Tiger Chen. Principal photography took place in China and in Hong Kong. Reeves was also assisted by Yuen Woo-ping, the fight choreographer of the Matrix films. 136 Man of Tai Chi premiered at the Beijing Film Festival and the Cannes Film Festival 137-138 and received praise from director John Woo. 139 A wider, warm response followed suit. Bilge Eberi of Vulture thought the fight sequences were beautifully assembled, and Reeves showed restraint with the film editing to present the fighters' motion sequences. 140 The Los Angeles Times wrote, the brutally efficient shooting style Reeves employs to film master choreographer Yuen Woo-ping's breathtaking fights, is refreshingly grounded and old-school kinetic. 141 While Dave McGinn of The Globe and Mail called the film ambitious but generic. 142 At the box office, Man of Tai Chi was a commercial disappointment, grossing only $5.5 million worldwide from a budget of $25 million. 143-144 Also in 2013, Reeves played Kai in the fantasy 47 Ronin, a Japanese fable about a group of rogue samurai. The film premiered in Japan but failed to gain traction with audiences. Reviews were not positive, causing Universal Pictures to reduce advertising for the film elsewhere. 47 Ronin was a box office flop and was mostly poorly received. 145. 2014 to 2022, Resurgence with John Wick. After another series of commercial failures, Reeves has made a career comeback in 2014, playing the title role in the action thriller John Wick, directed by Chad Stahelski. In the first installment of the John Wick franchise, Reeves plays a retired hitman seeking vengeance. He worked closely with the screenwriter to develop the story. We all agreed on the potential of the project. I love the role, but you want the whole story, the whole ensemble to come to life, Reeves said. 146 Filmed on location in the New York City area, the film was eventually released on October 24 in the United States. 147 The Hollywood Reporter was impressed by the director's confident, muscular action debut, and Reeves's effortless performance, which marked his return to the action genre. 148 Jeanette Katsoli of the New York Times praised Reeves's fight scenes and wrote he is always more comfortable in roles that demand cool over hot, attitude over emotion. 149 John Wick proved to be a box office success, grossing $86 million worldwide. 150 In 2015, Reeves starred in a smaller-scale horror feature, Knock Knock, a remake of the 1977 film Death Game. Described as over-the-top destruction by the Toronto Star, Reeves plays a father, home alone, when two young women show up and start a game of cat and mouse. 151 His other releases in 2015 were the documentaries Deep Web, about crime on the dark web, and Mifune, The Last Samurai, about the life of Toshiro Mifune, famous for playing samurai characters. He narrated both films. 152-153. Reeves appeared in 5 film releases in 2016. The first was Exposed, a crime thriller about a detective who investigates his partner's death and discovers police corruption along the way. The film received negative reviews for its confused plot, and Reeves was criticized for displaying limited facial expressions. 154-155. His next release, the comedy Keanu, was better received. 156. In it he voiced the eponymous kitten. Reeves then had a minor role in The Neon Demon, a psychological horror directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. He played Hank, a lustful motel owner who appears in Jesse's, played by Elle Fanning, Nightmare. 157. In his fourth release, he played a charismatic leader of a settlement in The Bad Batch. 158. His final release of the year was The Whole Truth, featuring Gabriel Basso, Kugumbe Thara, Renee Zellweger, and Jim Belushi. He played Richard, a defense attorney. Noel Murray of the AV Club described it as moderately clever, reasonably entertaining courtroom drama, with a skilled cast but overall a mundane film. 159. Reeves also appeared in Swedish Dicks, a 2-season web television series. 160. In 2017, Reeves agreed to reprise his role for a sequel in the John Wick franchise, John Wick, Chapter 2. The story carries on from the first film and follows John Wick as he goes on the run when a bounty is placed on him. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing $171.5 million worldwide, more than its predecessor. 161. Chris Hewitt of Empire magazine praised Reeves's performance, which complemented his previous action roles in Point Break and Speed. 162. However, Justin Chang of the Los Angeles Times described the picture as a down and dirty B picture with a lustrous A picture soul. 163. Reeves then starred in a drama, To the Bone, in which he plays a doctor helping a young woman with anorexia. It premiered at the 2017 Sundance Film Festival, followed by distribution on Netflix in July. 164. 165. Early reviews were positive, with praise for its non-glamorized portrayal of anorexia, although the New Statesman magazine thought it was irresponsible. 166. That year, Reeves also made cameo appearances in the films A Happening of Monumental Proportions and SPF 18. 167. 168. In 2018, Reeves reunited with Winona Ryder in the comedy Destination Wedding, about wedding guests who develop a mutual affection for each other. They had worked together previously in Bram Stoker's Dracula, A Scanner Darkly and The Private Lives of Pippa Lee. Reeves also co-produced and starred in 2 thrillers. Siberia, in which he plays a diamond trader who travels to Siberia to search for his Russian partner, and Replicas, which tells the story of a neuroscientist who violates laws and bioethics to bring his family back to life after they die in a car crash. Siberia was critically panned. Reviewers thought the plot was nonsensical and Reeves had little chemistry with co-star Anna Olaru. 169. 170. Replicas did not fare well with critics either. The AV Club praised Reeves's performance, but gave the film a grade D, adding it is garbage. 171. It was also a box office failure, earning $9.3 million from a budget of $30 million. 171. 172. Reeves in 2019. In 2019, Reeves starred in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, the third film in the series directed by Stahelski. The film takes place immediately after the events of John Wick, Chapter 2 and features new cast members including Halle Berry. The film was another box office hit, grossing $171 million in the United States and more than $155 million internationally. 173 The Globe and Mail's reviewer gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, praising the fight scenes, but felt there was aesthetic overindulgence with the cinematography. 174 The Guardian's Kath Clark questioned Reeves's acting. She wrote that he keeps his face statue still. 3 movies in, franchise bloat is beginning to set in. 175 Reeves was nominated for Favorite Male Movie Star of 2019 in the People's Choice Awards, and the film itself was nominated for Best Contemporary Film in the Art Directors Guild Awards. 176 177 Reeves then voiced Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4, the 4th installment of Pixar's Toy Story franchise. 178 In that same year on April 27 and 28, a film festival was held in his honor, called KeanuCon, hosted in Glasgow, Scotland. 179 Over 2 days, 9 of his films were screened for guests. 180 Also in 2019, Reeves played a supporting role as himself in the Ali Wong-led romantic comedy Always Be My Maybe. 181 In 2019, Reeves traveled to Sao Paulo to produce a Netflix series, Conquest. 182 183 Footage shot for the project would remain in development hell for years due to creator Carl Rinsch's erratic behavior and mental health state, which caused him to miss several deadlines and enter litigation with Netflix over the rights to the series. 184. As early as 2008, Reeves and Alex Winter had shown enthusiasm for a third Bill and Ted film, but the project went into development limbo. 185 In 2020, the third film in the franchise Bill and Ted Face the Music was released. 186 187 The critic from Salon magazine was disappointed in Reeves's performance, but praised the film for its message that music has the power to unite the world. 188 Leah Greenblatt of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a grade B, and complimented the on-screen chemistry between Reeves and Winter. 189 He also appeared in the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run as a tumbleweed named Sage. 190 Reeves appears as Johnny Silverhand in the video game Cyberpunk 2077. 191 192 In December 2021, Reeves returned to the screen for the 4th film in the Matrix franchise, The Matrix Resurrections. Carrie-Anne Moss also reprised her role as Trinity. 193 194 The Matrix Resurrections was a box office disappointment. 195 One critic praised Reeves's and Moss's performances, but thought the film was a no-game changer. 196. 2023, present, post-John Wick. In 2023, Reeves reprised his role as the title character in John Wick, Chapter 4. 197 It received critical acclaim. Several reviewers cited the film among the greatest action films ever made. 198 199 200 He also reprised his role as Johnny Silverhand in the Cyberpunk 2077 expansion, Phantom Liberty. 201 A comic book series, BRZRKR, co-written by Reeves, was published in 3 volumes starting in March 2021 and concluding in October 2023. 202 Issue number 1 sold over 615,000 copies, making it the top-selling single issue since Star Wars number 1 in 2015. 203 204 Reeves performing with Dogstar in 2024. After occasionally meeting up for jam sessions in the years following their dissolution, Dogstar began recording new material during the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, which turned into a finished album, Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, 2023. 205 Following their first performance in 20 years at Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival, 206 Reeves and the band embarked on a 25-day tour in North America and Japan in support of the album, beginning August 10 in Hermosa Beach, California. 207 208 209 In July, Boom Studios published the first issue of BRZRKR, Bloodlines, titled Poetry of Madness. 210 Reeves appeared as the featured guest for the season 6 premiere episode of Ride with Norman Reedus, titled The Utah Desert with Keanu Reeves. 211 Cinema Blends Nick Venable said, "The installment makes for some truly heartwarming viewing for anyone who needs something to smile about." 212 In November of that year, he appeared as the host for and executive produced the 4-part documentary series Brawn, The Impossible Formula One story for Hulu and Disney+. 213 Jack Seal of The Guardian felt that Reeves was there to humanize the story, and pointed out his numerous adorable habits that most interviewers would deem unprofessional, but which don't offend. He felt that much of the emotion in the series owed to the way he gets his interviewees to open up. He often asks an emotion-based question, how did someone feel about what they did, rather than just what did they do. 214 At the end of that month, Boom Studios published the second comic in the BRZRKR Bloodline series, entitled Fallen Empire. 215 In May 2024, Netflix won litigation over the rights to the Reeves-produced Conquest series, with the footage reverting to their ownership alongside being reimbursed for $8.78 million worth of creator Carl Rinsch's misused production money. 216 That June, Reeves and Dogstar announced their summer vacation tour, with shows scheduled from August to September in the US and Canada. 217 On July 23, 2024, Reeves published a novel, The Book of Elsewhere, co-written with China Mevely, a telling of the story of BRZRKR. 218-219 The first issue of the second volume of the Bloodline series, A Faceful of Bullets, written with Jason Aaron and art by Francesco Manna, was released the following day after a delay from June. 220-221 Another BRZRKR Bloodline spin-off, titled The Lost Book of B, released on August 21, 2024. 222 He joined Graham Hancock in the second season of the series Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix, where he discussed his insights into storytelling as an act of preserving culture. 223 Reeves starred in the Armored Core episode of the animated anthology series Secret Level. 224 In April, Reeves was cast as the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog in the third installment of the Sonic the Hedgehog film series, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which released on December 20, 2024. He also voiced the character in a DLC for the video game Shadow Generations, developed as a tie-in for the film. 225-226. In January 2025, Reeves had an uncredited role voicing a stop-motion Lumen building in the second season of the television series Severance. 227 In June 2025, Reeves reprised his role as John Wick in the series spin-off film Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas. 228-229 Reeves then starred alongside Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari in the latter's directorial debut, Good Fortune. 230. Upcoming projects. Reeves will star in Jonah Hill's upcoming black comedy film Outcome on Apple TV+. 231-232 Reeves is set to star in Ruben Östlund's satire film The Entertainment System is Down. 233 Reeves will co-produce a documentary film about the life of Benny Urquidez, set for release in 2025. 234 Reeves will make his Broadway debut in the fall of 2025, in a production of Waiting for Godot directed by Jamie Lloyd. 235. A film adaptation of BRZRKR written by Mattson Tomlin and produced by and starring Reeves is being developed for Netflix, with Reeves open to the possibility of directing. 236-237 After the release of the film, a 2-season anime series also planned for release on Netflix and produced by Production I.G is planned to follow. 238 A fifth film in the John Wick series was planned by distributor Lionsgate. 239-240 but franchise director Chad Stahelski had said he would like to give the franchise a rest for the time being. 241 Besides plans for a fifth film, a sequel television series titled John Wick, Under the High Table is being developed with Reeves attached as an executive producer. 242. Personal life. Alexandra Grant in May 2014. In 1998, Reeves met director David Lynch's assistant Jennifer Syme at a party thrown for his band Dogstar, and they started dating. 243. On December 24, 1999, Syme gave birth 8 months into her pregnancy to the couple's child, who was stillborn. The couple broke up several weeks afterward, but later reconciled. 244. On April 2, 2001, Syme was killed when her vehicle collided with 3 parked cars on Cahuenga Boulevard in Los Angeles. Syme had been under the influence and also not belted in. 245. 246. Reeves told investigators that they were back together 244 and had brunch together in San Francisco the day before the accident. 245. Reeves acted as a pallbearer for Syme 245, who was buried next to their daughter. 247. He was scheduled to film the sequels to The Matrix the following spring, but sought peace and time, according to friend Brett Domrose of Dogstar. 245. Reeves has also been romantically linked to longtime friend and filmmaker Brenda Davis, to whose child he is godfather. 248. 249. 250. And model actress China Chow. 251. 252. Reeves also maintains a close friendship with his Bram Stoker's Dracula co-star Winona Ryder. After taking part in a wedding scene with a Romanian priest for the film, they still call each other husband and wife when speaking personally. 253. In 2009, Reeves met Alexandra Grant at a dinner party. They went on to collaborate on 2 books together. 254. 255. They went public with their relationship in November 2019. 31. 256. Reeves is discreet about his spiritual beliefs, saying that it is something personal and private. 257. When asked if he was a spiritual person, he said that he believes in God, faith, inner faith, the self, passion, and things, and that he is very spiritual. 258. Although he does not formally practice Buddhism, the religion has left a strong impression on him, especially after filming Little Buddha. 63. He said, "Most of the things I've come away with from Buddhism have been human understanding feelings, impermanence, and trying to understand other people and where they're coming from." 63. In 2023, the lipopeptide kinemycin, a substance deadly to fungi, was named in honor of Reeves. 259. In 2024, Reeves spoke on his thoughts about mortality, saying, "I'm thinking about death all the time. That's a good thing. Hopefully it's not crippling, but hopefully it sensitizes us to an appreciation of the breath we have, and the relationships that we have the potential to have." 260. On October 5th, Reeves made his motorsport debut in the Toyota GR Cup North America, where he finished in 25th on Race 1 and 24th on Race 2 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 261. 262. Business and philanthropy. Mural of Reeves in Santiago de Chile. Reeves supports several charities and causes. In response to his sister's battle with leukemia, he founded a private cancer foundation, which aids children's hospitals and provides cancer research. 263. 264. In June 2020, he volunteered for Camp Rainbow Gold, an Idaho children's cancer charity. 265. Reeves was also recognized as one of the 100 influential celebrities in oncology by OncoDaily. 266. Reeves has said, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have already made for the next few centuries." 267. It was rumored that Reeves gave away a substantial portion, estimated to be $35 to $125 million, of his earnings from The Matrix to the special effects and makeup crews. However, this has been significantly embellished. Reeves negotiated a smaller deal, relinquishing his contractual right to a percentage of the sequel's profits in exchange for a more extensive special effects budget. 269 During production on that film, Reeves heard that a crew member was having family trouble, and elected to gift the man $20,000 to help him with his finances. 270 As a wrap gift for the 12-person stunt team of The Matrix Reloaded, 2003, Reeves purchased Harley-Davidson motorcycles for each of the members, saying of the gifts, "I just wanted to give a bigger thank you to all these guys who helped me make this." 272 After filming John Wick, Chapter 4, Reeves, Chad Stahelski and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor Dave Camarillo signed an exclusive training uniform that was put up for auction in March 2023 to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. 273 Reeves also presented his personal stunt team for the film with engraved custom Rolex Submariner watches, and bought the larger Chapter 4 stunt crews each personalized t-shirts indicating how many times that the various extras they portrayed died in the film. 272 In 2024, Reeves signed a one-day contract with the Windsor Spitfires, and signed items which were auctioned off in benefit of the Canadian Mental Health Association of Windsor, Essex. 274. Reeves co-founded a production company, Company Films, with friend Stephen Hamill. 275 In 2011, Reeves, an avid motorcyclist, co-founded Arch Motorcycle Company, which builds and sells custom motorcycles, with Gard Hollinger. 277 In 2017, Reeves, Jessica Fleischman, and Alexandra Grant founded book publisher, X Artists Books, also known as XAB. 254 He has written 2 books with Grant, Ode to Happiness and Shadows. He provided the text to her photographs and art. 279. Censorship. In 2022, Reeves's recitation of the beat poem Pull My Daisy for a virtual benefit concert for Tibet House US, a non-profit organization affiliated with the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, stirred a negative reaction from jingoistic crowds on Chinese social media. 282 Reeves's films have subsequently been banned from streaming platforms in China such as iQIYI, Tencent Video, and Youku. 284. In the media. Reeves star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Reeves star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In a 2005 article for Time magazine, Lev Grossman called Reeves Hollywood's ultimate introvert. 285 He has been described as a workaholic, charming, and excruciatingly shy. During the production of Constantine, director Francis Lawrence commented on his personality, calling him hardworking and generous. His co-star Shia LaBeouf said, "I've worked with him for a year and a couple of months, but I don't really know him that much." 285 Erwin Stoff of 3 Arts Entertainment has served as Reeves's agent and manager since he was 16, and produced many of his films. Stoff said Reeves is a really private person and keeps his distance from other people. 286 In 2023, Reeves's frequent collaborator Lawrence Fishburne remarked on him, "He's kinder, yeah. He's much kinder than people say he is. He's a very gentle, highly intelligent man. Really thoughtful and gifted and incredibly patient. Yeah, he has a lot of grace, Keanu." 287. Aziz Ansari, who directed and starred with Reeves in Good Fortune, joked that he actually is an angel, and that he's been pretending to be human for all these other roles. 288. In a 2024 interview with People magazine, Hiroyuki Sanada said, "He is so humble, very kind to others but very hard on himself. He's always trying to do his best, aim higher, move forward." 289. In 2010, an image of Reeves became an internet meme after photographs of him were published, sitting on a park bench with a sad facial expression. The images were posted on the 4chan discussion board and were soon distributed via several blogs and media outlets, leading to the sad Keanu meme being spread on the internet. An unofficial holiday was created when a Facebook fan page declared June 15th as Cheer Up Keanu Day. 255-290. He would later downplay the photo, saying, "Man, I was eating a sandwich. I was thinking I had some stuff going on. I was hungry." 291. Reeves's casual persona and ability to establish rapport have been observed by the public, leading him to be dubbed the internet's boyfriend. 292, 293, 294. In 2019, Vox cited Reeves's unorthodox filmography and ability to appeal to nerd culture as the primary reasons for his internet popularity. 295. Screen Rant assessed that Reeves is commonly considered one of the kindest, most thoughtful actors in Hollywood. 271. The Guardian noted that he holds a reputation as one of the nicest, humblest guys on the Hollywood A-list. 219. And the BBC wrote that he is known for his gentle, mild-mannered persona, and is often described as the nicest man in Hollywood. 296. Time dubbed Reeves as the master of the fan encounter. 297. And Snopes observed that he is so beloved that he's a cultural fixture. 298. In March 2019, Reeves went viral after his United Airlines flight to Burbank, California was grounded in Bakersfield. Taking initiative in arranging alternate travel plans, Reeves boarded a travel van with the other passengers. Reeves read fun facts from his phone about Bakersfield to the passengers, and later used YouTube to play them 1950s American country music that was native to the town. 299. Time said of the events, "One thing's for certain after this eventful trip, if you're looking for a road trip buddy, Keanu Reeves should be on the top of your list." 300. Reeves again gained media attention in May when a clip of his guest episode on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert went viral online. Colbert asked at the end of the show about his views on death, then Reeves answered, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us." The response incited an emotional reaction from the audience, and Colbert shook Reeves's hand before wrapping up the show. 301. Vice's River Donaghy declared that Keanu is my new religion in response to the clip, and called the moment transcendent. 302. The New Yorker called it a response so wise, so genuinely thoughtful, that it seemed like a rebuke to the usual canned blather of late-night television. Staff writer Naomi Fry recounted that she felt like she was standing alone in a rock garden, having a koan whispered into her ear after watching the viral clip on Twitter. 303. The interaction would later inspire science communicator Hank Green to end his Pissing Out Cancer comedy special, based on his experiences fighting Hodgkin's lymphoma, with a quote inspired by Reeves's answer, "Either way, what comes next is going to be beautiful." In choosing the ending, he felt that Reeves's words reflected a larger understanding of the human experience. 304. While filming Bill and Ted Face the Music in July 2019, Reeves and other cast members came across a house with a banner reading "You're breathtaking" and "Mini Keanu," two memes that had come out of Reeves's appearance at the Electronic Entertainment Expo 2019 for the game Cyberpunk 2077. Reeves took time to sign the banner, and talk to the family. 305. Business Insider reported that the actor's fans were quick to praise him in response to the incident, calling him "good guy Keanu" and lauding him as the best human on the planet. 306. In August 2022, Reeves went viral for attending a fan's wedding in Northamptonshire, United Kingdom. James and Nikki Roadnight saw Reeves at a bar at Fossley Hall Hotel shortly before their marriage ceremony and started to chat with him, with Reeves congratulating the couple on their marriage. Later, after James had secretly asked Reeves to meet Nikki during the wedding, he turned up during the ceremony. 307. Nikki described Reeves as a genuinely kind guy and relaxed and down to earth during the wedding, and he participated in a photo shoot with the family. 308 Another interaction between Reeves at an October 2023 Dogstar concert in Houston gained media attention. A young fan named Elijah approached Reeves before they started their show, asking if Reeves would play catch with him. Reeves obliged, with a game ensuing between the two. Calling the game the top moment of his life, the boy stated his intent to keep the football forever and ever. 309 310 Oliver Browning of The Independent called the interaction a wholesome moment for Reeves. 311. Reeves appeared on Forbes' annual Celebrity 100 list in 2001 and 2002, at number 36 and 49, respectively. 312 313 In 2005, Reeves received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his contributions to the motion picture industry. 314 In 2016, The Hollywood Reporter calculated that Reeves had earned $250 million for the Matrix franchise, making him one of the highest-paid actors. 315 In 2020, The New York Times ranked him at number 4 on its list of the 25 greatest actors of the 21st century. 316. A popular meme asserts that Reeves is secretly immortal and has lived throughout the last millennia under the identities of several historical figures, including Charlemagne and French actor Paul Mounet. 317. The meme came to media prominence in 2017 when Reeves was asked by Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show about it. Reeves addressed his resemblance with Charlemagne, saying, "We have a likeness in the eyes. And the nose and the mustache and the beard and the cheekbones and the forehead." 318 319 When asked in a Q&A event for John Wick, Chapter 4 if he ever ages, Reeves responded, "Yeah man, I age. I age. It's happening, man." 320 In 2023, a website dedicated to chronicling every time Reeves has spoken the word "whoa" in his film career was created by web developer Avi Mamenko to honor him. 321 In 2022, Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. 322. Filmography and awards. Main articles, Keanu Reeves filmography and awards and nominations. Reeves, right, receiving the Inkpot Award in 2024. Prolific in film since 1985, Reeves's most acclaimed and highest-grossing films, according to the review aggregate site Rotten Tomatoes, include River's Edge, 1987, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, My Own Private Idaho, 1991, Much Ado About Nothing, 1993, Speed, 1994, The Matrix, 1999, John Wick, 2014, John Wick, Chapter 2, 2017, John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019, and Toy Story 4, 2019. 323 Reeves has won 4 MTV Movie Awards, 51 324 325 and received 2 Best Actor nominations at the Saturn Awards. 326 He was nominated twice for a People's Choice Award, Favorite Male Movie Star and Favorite Action Movie Star, for his performance in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019. 327. In November 2015, People retroactively named him 1994's Sexiest Man Alive. 328 In September 2021, Taekwondo Life magazine deemed Reeves the #1 martial arts movie star in the world based upon his multiple films in the genre, their popularity, and sheer box office gross. 329 In 2024, Gold House honored him on its Most Impactful Asians A100 list 330, and he was presented with the Inkpot Award for lifetime contributions to movies, TV, comics, and books at San Diego Comic-Con. Hiroyuki Sanada, Japanese, Annie Shimizawa, born October 12, 1961, is a Japanese actor. He has received numerous accolades, including a Golden Globe Award, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, a British Academy Television Award, a Japan Academy Film Prize, 2 Hoka Film Awards, a Mainichi Film Award, 3 Blue Ribbon Awards for Best Actor, 4 Kinema Junpo Awards, and honors from the Yokohama Film Festival. In 2018, he received the Medal of Honor with Purple Ribbon from the Japanese government for his artistic developments, improvements, and accomplishments, and in 2025, Time named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Sanada began his career in the mid-1960s at the age of 5, and was the protege of actor Sonny Chiba. A black belt in Kyokushin karate, he initially gained prominence for his roles in Japanese and Hong Kong action films, later establishing himself as a dramatic actor. He is best known to international audiences for his roles as Ryaji Takayama in Ring, 1998, where he played alongside Nanako Matsushima, who was also his co-star in a 1997 television drama A Story of Love. His role as the Fool in a production of the Shakespeare play King Lear, 1999 to 2000, gave him theatrical attention, and led to his appointment as an honorary member of the Order of the British Empire in 2002. Beginning in the 2000s, Sanada grew his Hollywood presence with such roles as Seibe Iguchi in The Twilight Samurai, 2002, Ujio in The Last Samurai, 2003, and Kenji in Rush Hour 3, 2007. Sanada's appearances in Hollywood films include Sunshine, 2007, Speed Racer, 2008, The Wolverine, 47 Ronin, both 2013, Minions, 2015, Life, 2017, Avengers, Endgame, 2019, Army of the Dead, 2021, as Hanzo Hasashi/Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, 2021, in Bullet Train, 2022, and John Wick, Chapter 4, 2023. He also had roles on Lost, 2010, and the HBO series Westworld, 2018 to 2020. Sanada gained awards for his role in the FX historical drama series Shogun, 2024, as Yoshii Toranaga, a fictionalized version of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Life and career. 1966 to 1978, child actor. Born in Tokyo, Sanada was scouted by an entertainer while playing with the son of the actor Kokichi Takeda, who lived in the same condominium. After working as a model for a magazine for young children, he joined the Himawari theater group at the age of 5. Originally planning to be an action movie star, he studied Shorinji Kempo and later took up Kyokushin Kaiken Karate. 2. He began playing baseball at age 8 as a catcher. 3. Sanada was mentored by actor Shinichi Sonny Chiba, and was a member of his Japan Action Club, JAC, for becoming his protege. 5. At the age of 5, Sanada had his first role in the 1966 film Game of Chance, as the son of Chiba's character. 6. He had several roles in Japanese television and films, but quit temporarily so he could focus on living a normal childhood. He said this gave him a good chance to watch movies as the audience, helping his perspective. 5. By his teenage years he knew how to act, fight, sing, dance, perform stunts, ride horseback, and had developed versatility. 4. Sanada had noticed that many popular actors would develop such skills, and felt it was the best service for the audience to do so himself before he practiced acting again. 5. He gained attention for his dangerous stunt of jumping from a helicopter in the 1979 film G.I. Samurai, action directed by Sonny Chiba. 7. In 1981, he appeared in the smash hit movie Samurai Reincarnation directed by Kinji Fukasaku, in which he played an Iga Ryu ninja. 7. 1982 to 1999, Japanese character roles. Sanada received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Film Science from Nihon University in 1982. 8. In 1984, Sanada starred with Sonny Chiba and an 80s idol Hirako Yakushimaru in Legend of the Eight Samurai, which became the #1 film in Japan, earning 2.3 billion yen, and was later released in foreign language versions. This film established Sanada as a popular action star in Japan. 7. In 1992, Sanada played Yoshinari, a stockbroker turned yakuza in the comedy film Kaisho Sakazuki, Succession, with Ogata-ken. 9. In 1997, Sanada starred in a television drama A Story of Love, also known by its Japanese title Kanakoi no Hanashi, where he played the role of Shuichiro Harashima, a wealthy but lonely upper-class businessman who falls in love with a decorating designer from a lower-class family played by Nanako Matsushima. 10. The following year in 1998, Sanada once again co-starred with Nanako Matsushima in the mystery thriller Ring, as Takayama Ryaji, the ex-husband of Matsushima's character Reiko, a journalist investigating the death of her niece. 9. Also in 1998, Sanada starred as Asami in Jun Ichikawa's Tatten to Chikiwa. Sanada's role followed the story of a writer suffering from writer's block. 9. In 1999, Sanada starred in Mayonaka Maid, Round About Midnight, as Mori Yamakoji, a confident jazz trumpet performer who performs at a club called Cottontail. In the film, Moriyama sees Michelle Reese's character being attacked by two murderers, who they proceed to chase throughout the film. 9. 1999 to 2002, Royal Shakespeare Company. In 1999 and 2000, he performed with the Royal Shakespeare Company, RSC, in their production of King Lear. 4. Producer Nigel Hawthorne personally invited Sanada to play the role, yet Sanada had doubts since he had not taken an English language role before. Sanada was convinced after the producers assured him that he was an actor first before being Japanese or Asian. 5. For this role, he was appointed an honorary member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE, in 2002, citing his contribution to spreading British culture in Japan. 4. 11. That year, Sanada played the lead role of the low-ranking Seibei Iguchi in The Twilight Samurai. It follows the turbulent life and times of the character, and documents the financial woes that a 19th-century Japanese warrior could have faced. 12. 2003 to 2009, The Last Samurai and International Breakthrough. In 2003, Sanada's role as Uchiyo, a master swordsman, opposite Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai, brought him praise. 12. Sanada played Matsuda, a man who befriends Ralph Fiennes' character Todd Jackson, in The White Countess, 2005, directed by James Ivory. 13. He starred in the Chinese film The Promise directed by Chen Kaiji as General Guangming. 14. Sanada appeared in Rush Hour 3, 2007, with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, Danny Boyle's Sunshine, 2007, as Canada 9 and The City of Your Final Destination, 2009, in which he plays Pete, the younger lover of Anthony Hopkins' character Adam Gund. 15. 2010 to 2020, Lost, Westworld, and Avengers, Endgame. Sanada on a press tour for the series Helix, 2013. Sanada joined the cast of the ABC TV series Lost in 2010 during its sixth and final season. He portrayed Dojin, a high-ranking member of the Others. 16. In 2013, he appeared in 47 Ronin, the first English-language adaptation of the Chushingura legend, Japan's most famous tale of samurai loyalty and revenge, alongside Keanu Reeves 17 as Shinjin Yoshida in The Wolverine opposite Hugh Jackman 18 and as Takashi Nagase in The Railway Man, a story of vengeance and reconciliation co-starring Stellan Skarsgård and Colin Firth. 12. He voiced sumo villain in Minions, a master of strength and power who pursues the minions. 19. Sanada was a guest star as Takehaya, a former Japanese Navy officer and legendary pirate captain in post-Plague Asia, in the apocalyptic drama series The Last Ship. 20. He also starred in the 2017 movie Life with Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, and Ryan Reynolds. 5. In 2018, he began a recurring role as Swordmaster Musashi on the HBO series Westworld and played the minor role of Akihiko in the 2019 film Avengers, Endgame. 21. That year, he received the Medal of Honor with Purple Ribbon from the Japanese government for his artistic developments, improvements, and accomplishments. 22 In August 2019, Sanada was cast in the Mortal Kombat reboot as Scorpion. 23-24 In 2020, Sanada starred alongside Johnny Depp in the film Minamata. 25-12 In 2021, he played the shrewd casino owner Bly Tanaka in Zack Snyder's action film Army of the Dead. 2021, Present, Bullet Train, John Wick, Chapter 4, Shogun. Sanada, fourth from the left, at an event promoting Shogun in 2024. In 2022, Sanada took the major supporting role of the Elder in Bullet Train opposite Brad Pitt. 26 In 2023, he portrayed Koji Shimizu, manager of the Osaka Continental Hotel, in John Wick, Chapter 4. 27, and was featured in a multi-commercial campaign introducing Mazda CX-90. 28-29. In 2021, Sanada was announced as producer and part of the cast of the FX limited series Shogun, adapted from the James Clavell novel, playing the part of Lord Toranaga. 33 The series has received widespread global critical acclaim, with Sanada's role in the series considered a highlight among many reviewers. 31-32 In 2024, Sanada became the first Japanese actor or actress to win any Primetime Emmy, and specifically the first Japanese winner of the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, for his role in Shogun. 33-34 Sanada also was a recipient of the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series for his role as a producer for the series. 35 Sanada received the inaugural award for Best TV Series Performance at the Energakamerimage International Film Festival for the role. 36 He was nominated for the Gotham TV Award for Outstanding Performance in a Limited Series. 37 And the Television Critics Association Award for Individual Achievement in Drama. 38 Sanada won the prize for Best Actor, Television Series Drama at the 82nd Golden Globe Awards. 39 And received the Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Actor in a Drama Series for the role. 40 In 2025, Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. 41. Personal life. In 1990, Sanada married actress Satomi Tezuka JA and had two sons, their second son being actor Nikanon Tezuka, 42-43, but they divorced in 1997 after a very well-publicized affair with a younger actress, Ryana Hajiki, with whom he had co-starred in a film. Tezuka took custody of their sons. 47 Ronin is a 2013 American historical fantasy action film directed by Carl Rinsch in his sole theatrical directorial effort. Written by Chris Morgan and Hossein Amini from a story conceived by Morgan and Walter Hamada, the film is a work of Chushingura, The Treasury of Loyal Retainers, a fictionalized account of the 47 Ronin, a real-life group of masterless samurai in 18th century Japan who avenged the death of their daimyō Asano Naganori by battling his rival Kira Yoshinaka. Starring Keanu Reeves in the lead role along with Hiroyuki Sanada, Tadanobu Asano, Rinko Kikuch, and Ko Shibasaki, the film bears little resemblance to its historical basis compared to previous adaptations, and instead serves as a stylized interpretation set in a world of witches and giants. 4. Development on the film began in 2008 with Rinsch, who has previously filmed visual and stylish commercials for various companies, signing on to direct the following year. After 5 Japanese actors were cast alongside Reeves between March and April 2011, filming took place in Budapest the same month before moving to Shepperton Studios in England, while additional filming in Japan was planned. Reshoots took place in London in August 2012. 47 Ronin first premiered in Japan on December 6, 2013 before being released theatrically in the United States on December 25, 2013 by Universal Pictures in both 3D and 2D formats. Upon release, 47 Ronin was panned by critics 5-6-7 and grossed a total of $151.8 million against its production budget of $175 to $225 million, becoming a box office bomb that left Universal in the red for 2013. 8 Variety listed 47 Ronin as one of Hollywood's biggest box office bombs of 2013. 9. A standalone sequel, Blade of the 47 Ronin, was released on October 25, 2022, on Netflix. Plot. In late medieval Japan, Kai is a half-Japanese and half-English outcast who was lost in the woods near Wakana, and was adopted by Lord Asano, the benevolent ruler of the Ako domain. Kai and Asano's daughter, Mika, fall in love despite the scorn her father's samurai hold for Kai's mixed ancestry. Lord Kira, the shogun's master of ceremonies, seeks to take Ako for himself with the help of Mizuki, a shape-shifting kitsune. She sends a Kirin to kill Asano and his men on a hunting trip, leading Kai to ride to their aid. Taking up a fallen sword, Kai slays the monster and spots Mizuki as a white fox with different colored eyes. When the shogun Tokugawa Tsunayoshi visits Ako, Kai notices Mizuki disguised as a concubine with the same multicolored eyes. He tries to warn Asano's principal counselor, Oishi, about the witch in Kira's household but is dismissed. For the entertainment of the shogun, Kira arranges a duel between his best warrior, a golem, and Asano's chosen combatant, whom Mizuki incapacitates with magic. Kai secretly dons his armor to fight in his stead but is unmasked during the duel, and the shogun orders him to be severely beaten. That night, Mizuki bewitches Asano into believing Kira is raping Mika, causing him to attack the unarmed lord. Sentenced to death, Asano is compelled to perform seppuku to preserve his honor. The shogun gives Kira domain over Ako and Mika, granting her 1 year of mourning before she must marry Kira. The shogun brands Oishi and his men Ronin, forbidding them from avenging Asano, and Kira has Oishi imprisoned, and Kai sold into slavery. Nearly a year later, Oishi is released by his captors, believing him harmless. Having realized that Kira used sorcery to frame Asano, Oishi and his son Chikara reunite the scattered Ronin and rescue Kai from the fighting pits of the Dutch colony of Dejima. Kai leads them to the mystical Tengu forest, which he escaped as a child, to obtain the special blades of the Tengu. Warning Oishi never to draw his sword inside the Tengu temple, Kai faces the Tengu master who once trained him. Faced with an illusion of his men and son being slaughtered by the Tengu, Oishi resists the urge to draw his sword, while Kai bests his former master. Having proven themselves worthy, the Ronin receive their blades. They plan to ambush Kira on his pilgrimage to a shrine to seek blessings for his wedding to Mika, but the procession is a trap, and most of the Ronin are killed. Believing they are all dead, Mizuki presents Kira with Oishi's sword and taunts Mika with their deaths. Having survived the attack, Oishi and Kai lead half the remaining Ronin to infiltrate Kira's castle, disguised as a band of wedding performers. With Kira's men distracted during the performance, the other Ronin scale the castle walls and attack the guards. While Oishi fights Kira, Kai and Mika face Mizuki as a dragon, and Kai finally draws on the mystical powers of the Tengu to kill her. When Oishi emerges with Kira's severed head, Kira's retainers surrender. The Ronin and Kai surrender themselves to the authorities of the Bakufu and are sentenced to death, having violated the shogun's prohibition on avenging Asano. However, the shogun declares that they followed the principles of Bushido and restores their honor as samurai, allowing them to perform seppuku and receive the honor of burial with Asano. The shogun returns the domain of Ako to Mika and pardons Chikara so that he may preserve Oishi's bloodline and serve Ako. As Mika mourns Kai's death, she remembers that he will search for her through 1,000 worlds and 10,000 lifetimes until he finds her. Cast: Keanu Reeves as Kai, a half-Japanese, half-English outcast adopted by the household of Lord Asano who joins the Ronin. 10. The character was created for the film. 11. Daniel Barber as Teen Kai. Hiroyuki Sanada as Yoshio Oishi, the leader of the Ronin. 8. Tadanobu Asano as Lord Yoshinaka Kira, Lord Asano's rival daimyō. 8. Rinko Kikuchi as Mizuki the Witch, an odd-eyed sorceress who serves Lord Kira. 8. Ko Shibasaki as Mika Asano, Lord Asano's daughter and Kai's love interest. 8th. Arisa Mikawa as Teen Mika. Men Tanaka as Lord Naganori Asano, the former master of the Ronin, and Mika's father. Kira Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shogun Tsunayoshi Tokugawa. Jin Akinishi as Shikara Oishi, Oishi's son. 12. Masayoshi Handa as Yasuno. Hiroshi Sogabe as Hazama. Takato Yonmoto as Basho. Hiroshi Yamada as Hara. Yorick Van Weygen as Kapitan. Masayuki Dia as Isagai. Shu Nakajima as Horib. Togo Igawa as Tengu Lord. Natsuki Kunimoto as Riku. Gede Watanabe as Kabuki troop leader. Rick Janest as foreman. Ron Badada as narrator. Production. Development. 47 Ronin was first announced in December 2008, with Keanu Reeves attached to star. According to Variety, the film would tell a stylized version of the story, mixing fantasy elements of the sword scene in The Lord of the Rings pics, with gritty battle scenes akin to those in films such as Gladiator. Universal Pictures planned to produce the film in 2009 after hiring a director 13 and entered talks with Carl Rinsch, who has previously filmed visual and stylish commercials for various companies, to direct the film in November of that year. 14. In December 2010, the studio announced that the film would be produced and released in 3D. 15 Between March 16 and April 17, 2011, 5 Japanese actors, Hiroyuki Sanada, Tadanobu Asano, Rinko Kikuchi, Ko Shibasaki, and Jin Akinishi, were cast alongside Reeves, as Universal wanted the film to be more authentic instead of casting actors more recognizable in the United States. 16 Universal provided Rinsch with a production budget of $175 million for the film despite his inexperience with feature-length films, which was considered by The Hollywood Reporter to be a large-scale, downright risky move on behalf of the studio. 18. Filming. Principal photography for the film began on March 14, 2011 in Budapest. 18 Origo Film Group contributed to the film. Production moved to Shepperton Studios in the United Kingdom while additional filming in Japan was planned. 11 Reeves revealed that various scenes were first filmed in the Japanese language to familiarize the cast, and were then filmed again in English. 4 The film featured a total of 998 costumes and 400 suits of armor designed by British costume designer Penny Rose, who stated that we decided to base it on the culture and what the shapes should be, i.e., everyone's in a kimono but we've thrown a kind of fashion twist at it. And we've made it full of color, which is quite unusual for me. 1920. Reshoots were done in London in late August 2012, which were delayed by the 2012 Summer Olympics and the filming of Reeves' directorial debut, Man of Tai Chi. Universal pulled Rinsch from the project during the editing stages in late 2012, with Universal chairwoman Donna Langley taking over the editing process. 21 In addition, the studio added a love scene, extra close-ups, and individual lines of dialogue to try and boost Reeves' presence in the film, which significantly added to the film's budget. 21. Music. 47 Ronin, original motion picture soundtrack is a soundtrack album containing the film score composed by Ilan Eshkari, which was released on December 17, 2013 by Varese Saraband. Soundtrack list. Oishi's Tale. Kieran Hunt.